For almost all of human history, when we looked up at the night sky, we saw stars. That's it, just stars. Sure, we knew about the handful of planets in our own cosmic neighborhood, but beyond that, it was this vast, silent, empty darkness. Well, I'm here to tell you that picture of the universe, it's gone. Forever. Just let this sink in for a second. This sentence right here was considered scientific fact just a few decades ago. This was printed in textbooks, taught in classrooms. The default assumption was that we were, well, a cosmic fluke, a lonely little outpost in an empty universe. And this is where we are today. In the span of a single generation, we've gone from 0 confirmed worlds outside our solar system to over 6,000. The universe isn't silent anymore. Not at all. It's whispering all around us, and we're finally learning how to listen. To really get why this number is so mind-blowing, we have to rewind a bit. We've got to go back to a time when finding another planet wasn't really science. It was pure science fiction. This was the world astronomers lived in. They hoped, they suspected other worlds were out there. But with 0 proof, it was just a hopeful guess, right? Our solar system was the only blueprint we had, and the space between the stars, it just felt so incredibly empty. And then, the silence was broken. And it wasn't some gentle whisper either. No, it was a series of discoveries so strange, so completely unexpected, they forced us to literally rewrite the rules of how planets are even made. It all kicked off in 1992, and in the weirdest place imaginable. The first confirmed exoplanets weren't orbiting some nice, stable, sun-like star. Nope. They were found circling a pulsar, the spinning corpse of a star that had gone supernova. How crazy is that? It proved planets could exist in the most extreme places. Then 95, that was the real starting gun, 51 Pegasi b. And by 2004, we weren't just detecting wobbles or shadows anymore. We took a picture. We could actually see another world. And that first planet, 51 Pegasi b, was an absolute weirdo. It's what scientists now call a hot Jupiter. So picture a gas giant, bigger than our Jupiter, but it's screaming around its star in just 4 days. Our theory said that was impossible. Big planets are supposed to form way out in the cold, like ours did. This one discovery just shattered that idea. It told us the universe was way more creative and a lot stranger than we ever gave it credit for. So, after those first few bombshells, the floodgates just burst open. It wasn't a question of if exoplanets existed anymore. The question became, how many can we find? The Great Planet Hunt was officially on. But think about it. How do you find a tiny, dark speck from light years away? Well, scientists got incredibly clever. First, they learned to watch for the tiny wobble a star makes when a planet's gravity is tugging on it. Then, they perfected the transit method, which is basically looking for a star's light to dim just a tiny bit when a planet passes in front. It's like trying to spot a gnat flying in front of a giant searchlight from 100 miles away. These methods turned pure imagination into solid data. And this led to a whole evolution in our strategy. First up was the Kepler Space Telescope, which was kind of like a deep-sea diver. It just stared, unblinking, at one tiny patch of the sky for years, and it found thousands of distant worlds, proving planets are everywhere. Then came TESS, which is more like a lighthouse. It scans almost the whole sky, looking for the closest and brightest systems, basically teeing them up for a closer look. And Kepler, what it did was just staggering. Over 2,700 confirmed planets from that one mission. It single-handedly changed planets from being these rare oddities into a common, standard feature of our galaxy. From there, momentum just pumped in. We passed the 5,000 planet milestone back in 2022. And that brings us right up to today. 6,000 confirmed worlds, and get this, astronomers are now finding roughly one new planet every single day. The pace is just incredible. But now, the whole game is changing. We're moving beyond just counting planets, which is amazing, but we're starting to actually look at them, to try and figure out what their skies and maybe even their surfaces are actually like. And this is where the James Webb Space Telescope, JWST, comes in. It is the next great leap. It has the power to not just see a planet's shadow, but to analyze the starlight that actually filters through its atmosphere. It's like getting a chemical fingerprint of alien air. So what can it find in that fingerprint? Well, the building blocks of life as we know it. We're talking water vapor, methane, carbon dioxide. And if you find these together in just the right amounts, they could be what we call biosignatures. These tantalizing hints that some kind of biology might be at work. We're not just looking for rocks anymore. We're looking for reflections of life. And what's so fascinating is that not everything makes the 6 o'clock news. Tucked away in NASA's data archives, there are already unconfirmed signals, strange combinations of gases that, here on Earth, are only produced by life. The data is there, and it's being checked and rechecked with painstaking care. And that right there, that quote, is key. It shows you the scientific mindset. They're being extremely cautious because the stakes couldn't be higher. Announcing you've found alien life would be the biggest news in all of human history. So the burden of proof is just immense. They have to be absolutely 100% sure. So all of this, every single discovery, every new telescope, every line of data, it's all pushing us toward one final, profound question, the one that's haunted us since we first learned to look up at the stars. And believe me, the hunt is far from over. The next generation is already on its way. We've got Plato, which is being designed specifically to hunt for Earth's twin. Ariel is going to be an atmospheric specialist, analyzing 1,000 different worlds in detail. And then there are future concepts like LUVOIR, which aim to give us direct images, actual portraits of other planets, where you could see clouds, maybe even oceans. So when you put all the data we have together, the conclusion is just stunning. On average, there is at least one planet for every single star you see in the sky. And when you do the math for our galaxy, the Milky Way, that means there are likely over 100 billion planets out there. Not a few thousand, 100 billion. Which brings us right back to this. With 100 billion chances in our galaxy alone, this question, it's not really philosophical anymore, is it? It's becoming a statistical one. It feels less like a matter of if we'll find an answer and more a matter of when. And maybe that's the most powerful idea of all. For the first time in history, we know for a fact that our Earth isn't some unique miracle. We're part of a cosmic pattern. We know that somewhere out there, across that cosmic ocean, on one of those 6,000 worlds and counting, someone or something might just be looking back toward a faint yellow star, asking the very same question.
Thank you for watching. We put our heart into creating content that inspires, surprises, and helps you see familiar things from a new perspective. If you enjoyed this video, support us with one simple action. Leave a like, thumbs up, and subscribe. It's the best way to show your interest, and it helps us grow, make new videos, and share even more unique stories, ideas, and discoveries with you. Your feedback isn't just numbers under a video. It's what motivates us to keep going. We truly value your time and do our best to make every minute you spend on this channel something more than just watching, something memorable and meaningful. There's much more ahead. Fascinating episodes, fresh research, unusual discoveries, and real stories from the edge of science and imagination. Don't forget to turn on the bell so you'll be the first to know when a new video drops. Thank you for being here with us. See you in the next one. It's going to be an exciting journey.